Got it.
You all can hit record your sets, whatever you'd like to do. We're live. Hey, Facebook, look at this. I am not able to spotlight anybody. Can you figure that? I've been Zuckerberg. So today you get to see everybody all at the same time, and you get to stay at home and try to figure out which one's talking. So it's going to be a nice game you get to play in your living rooms while you're watching us. This is the Veterans to Military Comedy Show. Today, we have some esteemed military veterans here for you and a few others. So we're going to go through who's here today. And so let me start and go through them in the running order of who's going to appear. First, you have me, the host, Linda Marcus Smith. I have 3 names because I'm a diva. Yeah, right. Then the next person we have coming up is Jana Lynn out of NorCal, which means Northern California, I heard. The next person we have coming up to entertain you is Nick Baskerville. There he is. He's serious about comedy. And then we have David G. Scott, clean comedy. Yeah. And then we have the amazing Cherie Savarin, who's hiding from the camera right now. There she is. Yeah. And then you get to have, I think I said that the next person would be Bert Berman. I don't even know my own lineup. It's okay. Don't worry about it, folks. And then the last person who you could call a headliner if you wanted to is Alex Fossella. Alex Fossella.
That was almost a slip in the clean comedy.
I almost spit my false teeth out on that name, Alex.
You saved it though. You saved it though. Very good.
Oh, you guys, we're going to have a blast today with you at home watching. If you're seeing this at a military organization, hey, thanks for your service to our country. We love you. We're here to promote comedy to you. We have military veterans. Raise your hand if you are one. See? There's 4 of us who have served our country and are now serving up jokes. You're welcome. Yes. And then we have people here who are very much in tune with the military. Jana Lynn had a long-term relationship with someone who was military, right, Jana?
Yes.
Absolutely. And Cherie Savarin has entertained the troops.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so close to my heart. You have no idea, Cherise. Yes. And then Alex Fossella, he's not military. Have you done military comedy?
Nope.
See, he's going to do clean comedy. Armed Forces Entertainment's going to pick him up and take him along with David G. Scott, Nick Baskerville, Jana Lynn, Bert Berman, and Cherie Savarin. You're going to leave me behind to watch. That's how it works. The host gets no respect. I'm okay with it. I'm teasing with you guys. So if you're at home, kick back, relax, and know we're not going to say any cuss words. There's nothing they're going to learn out. The kids aren't not going to learn anything out of the Urban Dictionary today. That was 2 weeks ago. We're going to have fun. And so we want you to enjoy and forget anything that's on your mind and just be in the moment with us as we try to make you laugh. We're not trying to upset you with anything we say. So if anything isn't your belief, open up your mind that other people have different beliefs. It's okay. You know, comics aren't necessarily gurus. We are not the litmus test for psychological, even keel. Just go with it. We're just having fun. Sometimes at your expense. We like to do this. So I'd like to start the show off today by letting you know everybody's going to do as much time as they want. 1 joke, 15 minutes. Who knows? It's a surprise. Do you like surprises? I do. Well, anyway, I have a sponsor. And if you only have one sponsor, trust me, you need to mention them. So I'll mention my sponsor. It's the veteransofcomedy.com. Yes, sir, Reba. And David G. Scott is a proud member of the Veterans of Comedy, showing his shirt right there with the emblem. Their motto is to leave no laugh behind around the world as they entertain military and non-military around the world. So if you ever are looking for some people who have served our country to serve up jokes, go to www, which you don't have to type in anymore, go to theveteransofcomedy.com and find my video and hire me, not David. Just kidding. Hey, it was clean. What do you want, David? I'm staying clean. I can't be everything. Can't be nice and clean. I'm kidding, David. Well, anyway, I'd like to do my comedy for y'all. Ready for this? Yeah.
All right.
I've been learning magic. I have. I make fine lines and wrinkles, and 6 decades disappear. Just like that. It's really fun. This last week, 5 days ago, I did something very down to earth. I think my shrink would be very happy with me. I did something very down to earth. I took a splat on the ground. Isn't that amazing? So down to earth. I bumped my chin
Maybe.
because I wasn't watching where I was going. You know, Vegas is full of this thing called tourists. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yes.
They're everywhere, you guys. And they clog up the sidewalks. And I'm so nice. I walk around them and then I fall. This is the second time. I had a brain injury in 1996. And because of my brain injury, I didn't watch where I was walking the other day. So now my first brain injury gave birth to my second one. What is this? How, you know, like I'm just having the best week ever. Now I'm laughing at everything. And my doctor is like, yep, that's what's up. You wouldn't know it from listening to me, but I'm from the Upper West Side. Not the good one. I'm from the Upper West Side geographically, Oregon. Yeah, it rains a lot there. Anybody know about Portland, Oregon? Rains a lot. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had to leave because of the rain. Okay, because of the rain and a talk with a barista. A boomer and a barista may not be a good fit. He says to me, he's had the nerve to say, you look just like Marilyn. Please, because of blonde hair, Charisse looks more like Marilyn than me. I said, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And he goes, no, it's raining. This is Portland. It's raining. Your makeup's dripping. You look like Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just what I was going for. So I had to leave. Yeah, I had to leave. I wrote a lot of jokes. I'm not gonna lie. Since the last 7 years, anytime I get depressed, I write a lot of jokes. One day I wrote 82 jokes and posted them all on Facebook.
Wow.
And
So-
this, I'm not saying they were good. I just said numbers, you know, I'm a numbers girl. And this lady who was 84 years old in Portland, who'll go nameless, but you could figure it out if you want. She's calling me. She blocked me and called me on the phone to tell me that she blocked me because I made her miss her doctor's appointment because she was reading all my called her doctor and he said, so what's the bad news? He didn't miss her and I don't miss her. The sadder I get, the more jokes I write. If I'm really depressed, I literally will set out that day to make 100 people laugh. I haven't been arrested yet either. Yay, thank you, Charisse. That it lifts your spirits if you're trying to make other people laugh.
It's true.
I wrote so many jokes. I got over a couple 100,000 likes on Facebook for my shtick. It's like a miracle. And New York came calling. Gladys Simon at Comic Strip Live wanted to meet me. She wanted me to come out there at my own expense, whatever. So I did it. I got on the train. I told jokes the whole way across the country on the train. Hashtag the differently able section is where it's at. They can't leave. Callbacks work better. I'm playing around, but they do love jokes, and they don't have video monitors down there in their seats, so they've never seen the movie Throw Mama from the Train. I made it all the way to New York because of that. And when I got to New York, I saw it, you guys. The Empire State Building. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. I mean, have you seen it in life? Oh my gosh. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so, and it started singing to me, you know, the song, sing it for me, Jenna. If you can make it here, that one.
You can make it there.
Yes,
New York, New York.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I heard the voice. Get out of the bike lane, you crazy nutbag from Portland, Oregon. What are you trying to do? Go home. I needed a shrink. I had to leave New York. I couldn't take it. Too much pressure. And I heard with a little bit of money and a lot of chutzpah, whatever you want to be, you can be it in Vegas. Couldn't wait to get here. And I got here just in time, Alex, for I hate it when I'm ignored. Oh, I like to play with people like that. I got here just in time for COVID.
Yay.
Sin City and no sin nowhere. It was like Utah.
On a
The
Sunday.
streets were- They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, it was really hard because, you know, when I got here, there were none of those ladies of the night slick trading cards plastered all over the sidewalk. And I couldn't get a slip and fall accident to pay my rent. Fortunately, I can trip and fall all by myself now, which I did this last week. That's about my time. I'm just having fun, trying to loosen y'all up at home. I hope you really kick back and enjoy the real comedians that are coming up after me. Okay, so enough for that. So the first comedian I want to introduce you to is somebody out of Northern California, which hashtag NorCal. I guess I have to learn abbreviations all over again. She's here and she is multi-talented. Wait until you hear her. She does really good, clean comedy. She follows the rules. Let's bring her up. Yay, Jana Lynn.
Thank you so much. I know after all this comedy, I might need to shrink, to shrink, not a shrink. But come, my love, I'll tell you a tale of a girl and her story. Now that I have a captive audience like those that I lift, these are the different, I'm a Lyft driver. Whenever I have a rider, they're my captive audience, and I have certain songs that I sing when I'm gonna go pick up a rider, and when they're riding and afterwards. So first it's this one. One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get ya. Then when I finally see them and they're coming out of their house or whatever, there you are in the middle of the night. There you are. Then they catch me in the car and they come on in and I go, on the road again. On the road again. And then at the very end of our little ride, I go, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye. And then I sing this to myself. And now I'm all alone again. Nowhere to go, no one to turn to. Without a home, without a friend, without a face to say hello to. The city's gone to bed, and I can live inside my head. And then it's blue moon. You saw me driving alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Let's see. So my sister was like, "Stop bothering me with your high-pitched voice, you nitwit." And then when the sun goes down, this is what sunsets sing. I'm so pretty, oh so pretty. Now, what is the advantage of only having one tooth? I must tell you, there's no flossing ever. Unless, of course, your orthodontist gets crazy and puts a permanent retainer on your tooth. That would just be. All right. So I lived on a boat for a while. It was for 6 months, and hope floats, and so did the boat. And it looked great because even though I floated, I'm not quite wooden like the boat, and that means I'm not a witch. I didn't turn anybody into a newt, and he didn't have to get better. Let's see. You can tell I had 2 brothers growing up. Now, I'm really not into heavy metal on my ears. Now, if you ever knew anything about Doctor Who, there's these little robots that go around, and they are called Daleks, and they go exterminate, and they like are really awful. So if that ever mixed with Alice in Wonderland, and they were actually the White Rabbit, they would say, "Isolate." Anyway, so last year there was a highway robbery, and guess what? They were wearing masks. Couldn't tell who they were. So let's see. If I were the composer of the jazzy tune music for Unemployment, I would not share that fact with anybody. Although I would be quietly infamous. Everybody would hate me. So Poison Ivy is my favorite villainess. She's way better than Harley Quinn. I'll tell you why. Because I'm a Californian and I like to go green. Now, if you have a little doll and she's a mermaid, you call her Dolly Finn. And Beauty and the Beast is really a conundrum because Belle will sing this song. Let's see, how does it go? Oh dear. She talks about how the Beast is so mean and rude and unrefined, and she says, I don't know why. Let's see. I forgot how it started, but anyway, she's like, I don't understand why I didn't understand who he was and how kind he is. I'm like, well, because he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined, you silly girl. Now, I will tell you, I went to the DMV just recently. I just got 1 hour of my life sucked away. When I got to the counter, all I could say was, as you wish. Now, I will tell you, one thing you should never do is download Jumanji on your phone. We really like you and want to see you, for 36 years. All right. Oh, be quiet, guys. My sunscreen's over there and it's sensitive. You gotta be quiet about what you say around it. Let's see. If I could make a living off of comedy, wouldn't that be a conundrum? Kind of like being a clean comic from the Bay Area, which I am. very big oxymoron. I like to clean up after the other comics though. So I'm very grateful for this clean comedy scene because you don't see it very much. It's kind of like my my dog who's partially blind. When I led him around a big old hole, he couldn't see that well. Let's see. At my family's house, there were 5 of us kids, and they were born in 6.5 years. So everybody was boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. And I think it was the Hunger Games growing up, but 5 out of 5 survived. Even with the funeral potatoes that we had to eat. So when I had a husband, he would sing this song because he didn't really want to go to all my comedy shows. He knows what I'm going to talk about. So he'd go, before you go, darling, you look perfect tonight. And you let her go. But actually he would just say, see ya. And then when I finally arrived to the comedy club, I'd say, here we are. Because, you know, I'm the captain's first mate. That's me. And if you ever need to bury your treasure, I will tell you the perfect spot to do it. It's Arizona. Because when you go to Arizona and you're like are telling people where your treasure is, you say hot, 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 hotter, hot, on fire. Then they'll find it. So have you ever seen your citizen lately? There's a few in here, thank you. For owning I'm just 2 20s put together, so don't worry about me. Almost. Soon to be. Let's see. I just wanted to say thank you to all the veterans and thank you for all your service. I salute you. I wish I could do it better. Also, if you ever have a wife or a girlfriend who has a tiny backpack purse, be careful because they might get together with their other girlfriends with tiny backpack purses and the competition will ensue. Thank you so much for hosting me, Linda. You are beautiful.
Thank you so much, Jana Lynn, you guys. It's fabulous. Don't you love her singing? Oh my gosh, she takes me to another planet. Thank you, Jana Lynn. Be sure everybody and put all your social media in the chat. Just a little reminder. Now for the next squeaky clean comedian that we have on board today, we have the amazing talent and also a military veteran, Nick Baskerville. Woo!
All right, let me go ahead and get some things started. How we doing out there? We doing good, folks? Do a few things. I'm gonna get recording, stuff like that. Where we at? Record this computer. All right, I'll come back to that. I'm excited to be here. I'm super excited. I'm a little nervous because the comedian before me, she just did a lot of singing, And I know you're looking at me and you're like, with a look like this, he's gonna sing every 1970s R&B song there is because that's who he looked like. You know, you're debating right now. Is it the Commodores? Is that the guy? No. He's from the Whispers. That's the guy. He's the guy from the Whispers. Young folks are like, I don't understand. He looks like a microphone, to be honest with you. I'll just take my glasses off. See it a bit better now. I understand. No, I am Nick Baskerville. And to be clear, this is not a Zoom filter. This is a real afro. I've had this afro since the first time it was in style. That long. Turns out if you do really well with growing your afro, they throw in a mustache like this. I think they'll even do it for women too. I mean, I'm just saying, there's no gender roles there. Women can have a mustache too if they want to. So like Linda said, I mean, I've been in I was in the military. I was in the Air Force for like total of 14 years between active and reserve, and I got out because I was trying to figure out like where do I fit in life? You know, like what is my next thing to do? And don't you know, I accidentally became a firefighter,
Oh,
which I know you're thinking like accidentally. Does it take like 1 to 5 years to kind of do this job? Like at some point, didn't I realize what was going on? Like particularly like when I was going in the burning building, like I should have figured something out by then, right? It was a complete accident. I didn't expect it. I gotta talk to y'all, all y'all, everybody who's not in the fire department, because you guys don't know what it is to be in a fire department. I know that because I've been watching these TV shows, and you are so confused. You are so confused. I've got 20 years in the fire department now. I'm going to tell you some things that I don't think you understand. One, not all of us are good looking. Okay, I know you look at the TV show and you're like, all of y'all, not all of us. Some of the other people are not good looking. Not all of us are good looking. I'm not saying I'm good looking. I've been married going on 18 years, and my wife calls me cute, which I know that's like on the way to being good looking, right? The fact that I have a job with benefits is how I get to sexy, is what it is. That's how you level up. You don't actually have to be good looking. You've got other stuff. You're a complete package. Some things I don't think you understand about firefighters is, yes, we are smart people. We are even smarter than a fifth grader. We are smarter than a fifth grader. We are not more mature. Not by a long shot. Everything you've ever heard about firefighters playing pranks, 1000% true. There's different levels. There's different levels, right? So there's your standard, water in the boots or shaving cream or whatever else. There's that. Then there's that next level up. I was talking to a friend, and he let me know that his officer went into their office, their room, and the entire room is wrapped in wrapping paper.
what?
Everything. Now, when I say everything, like the pens, the computer, each post-it note individually, every single one of them. There's a certain time commitment that you have to have for that. We have that in the fire department. Now, the absolutely best one that I've heard, and this is next level sort of stuff, right? There was a prank war going back and forth, and so one guy, he got fed up. So the other guy had a car. He had a hoopty of a car outside. So they decided to help that car stand out a bit. So they put glitter on the car.
Oh,
That's what they decided to do, but then they changed their mind. They broke into the car and they put glitter in all the vents.
Oh no.
oh,
And then sat back and watched. When I tell you, it looked like Tinkerbell was driving a car. Like it had every color. It was everywhere. It was, oh my gosh. And I asked, like, well, how did he ever clean that out of the car? Oh, what he did to fix it up is he sold the car. That's how he got rid of all that glitter, because you can't, I don't know if you understand how glitter works. It's just a whole lot of stuff there. One of the things that I think about is, another thing that I don't think you learn, that I don't think you guys know about firefighters, and I learned this being in the fire department, and it just makes perfect sense. Sprinkles on donuts are worthless. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I know some people feel very strongly about this. You may be a bit upset. I know Linda's like, look, don't do anything controversial. Look, this has to be said. This has to be said because people, they don't know. They don't serve any use. Think about it. Does it make sense to put glaze on a donut? Absolutely. It's extra sugar. Does it make sense to put chocolate on there? Sure. It even makes sense to put powdered sugar, but sprinkles? I mean, there's no taste to them. They're just kind of there. I just it makes no sense. And some people are like, well, it's the texture. You like having the texture on there, and that's why you have it. Bacon also has a texture, and it goes really well on a donut. Just put that out there. Some people say, well, the sprinkles help the donut to look pretty. You know, when you have pretty food, you want to eat it. Put some sprinkles on some Brussels sprouts, sir. No, I don't think people are gonna go up and start eating more of that. So this is how it got to there. You know, it was an event that happened to me one day in the fire department, and I feel like I have to tell this to you. So I'm at the training academy. I work in the training academy. I have my office, and I'm on a computer and I'm typing, and I get an email. Bing, donuts in the main office. I didn't run to go get donuts. Okay, I did run. But look, it's not about me, folks. All right, it's about me protecting other people. I have a really high metabolism. That means I should eat more donuts from other people because calories are hiding in donuts, and so not everybody it's a selfless act, but I am here to help protect all my other firefighters. So I go out my office door, go down the hallway, take a left, and I'm walking there, and I'm asking myself, what kind of donuts are they going to be? What kind of donuts? Is it going to be like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Or, oh, better yet, it's Crispy Donuts, Krispy Kreme, right? So the light was on and someone picked them up, and that's what they did. So I open up the door, I go in, and I look at the box, and the box says Duck Donuts. I never heard of Duck Donuts. Right now, I'm super worried because I've heard of Duck Dynasty, and I don't want them making donuts. All right. I got questions about them having donuts. And then, what do you mean Duck Donuts? I mean, are these for hunters? Like, am I not going to see the donuts when I open this up? Are they camouflage? Like, what is it that, how is that going to work exactly? But, you know, I decided to go ahead and try one of these donuts. And I did, and I ate it. And oh my God. Oh my God. This is next level stuff. Let me tell you something. Duck Donuts is mostly on the West Coast there. I'm sorry, on the East Coast there. And Duck Donuts is a specialty donut shop. And they do this phenomenal, great stuff with the donuts. So first they start off with this cake donut, and it's just thick, and it's just, oh my God. Then you get to pick everything else that goes on top of it, right? Right? You can coat it with something, you can add a topping, you can drizzle stuff on there, right? If you have some doubts about what it is that you could get, they have pre-packaged donut ideas, flavors, combinations for you, right? You could have chocolate caramel crunch. You could have the strawberry shortcake. You can have maple bacon. Now, come on, people. I've already told you about the importance of bacon in your life, right? Like, this is, you know, oh my God. So you can have all that. So I saw all that, and I knew what I had to do right away. I ate 2 of them. Again, this is not for me. I'm protecting people from the calories. Like, I looked at that and I said, I feel like there's a lot of calories in there. I was going to have to take care of that. So then that's when I had the revelation that people who want to eat sprinkles, they're just not good at seasoning their food, right? They are people who are just bland in their seasoning, and all it is just pepper and salt. They don't know anything else about seasoned salt. They don't know anything about grill mates. Like, they're just too regular and boring about that. Get yourself some Duck Donuts. You just don't need the sprinkles. That's what I want you to walk away with knowing. You don't need sprinkles in your life. At this point, you could be thinking, this man needs help. Yes. Well, you know, so, I mean, I have gone to church to get help. I'm not the best Christian, okay? Like, I'm a Christian, but there's different types, right? There's Baptist and Protestant, and I am what's called part-time Christian. I go 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. They gotta, I'm not sure what benefits I'm gonna get. I think I have to wait till I'm 65, if from what I understand. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and talk to the pastor. I was like, Pastor, you know, I wanna get better at being a Christian. He says, well, Brother Baskerville, you're gonna have to talk to God. And I was like, all right, well, how do I talk to God? Well, if you want to talk to God, you must pray. You must pray with passion. You must pray with intensity. You must pray with part of your paycheck. I was like, hold on. Not sure if you see my paycheck. That's not going to be a whole lot. Nothing from nothing still was nothing. Like, I was like, all right. Look, I'm gonna go try this. And so I went and I prayed with purpose and intensity. And all right, just a little bit of my paycheck. All right, just a few pennies. I figure, paycheck, pennies, they both begin with P. Substitute. Sure, I'll do that. I did this at work. And apparently your coworkers will get nervous if they hear you saying prayers like this at work. Lord, oh Lord, they are going to make me lose my mind up in here. They are going to make me wild on out. I feel like I can't see you in Zoom, but I feel like you've said this prayer too, maybe once or twice. No judgment here, no judgment. So on Monday, I talk with HR, talk about things you can and can't say at work. If y'all would pray for Brother Baskerville, I'd appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Thank you for listening to me talk about the fire department and everything else. You can catch me at Storytelling on Purpose, and also at Clean AF Comedy. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Nick Baskerville. If you're wondering who your favorite comedian is, don't go away, but go to the chat, because if you liked them when they were here, if you liked Jana when she was doing her comedy and Nick when he was doing his and the rest, you can see all their links to follow them and help their careers in any way that they put there in for you to follow them. Just don't follow them down the street. That gets a little dicey. Just saying. The next comedian you have the pleasure of getting to hear is a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of this show. He is a grandfather.
Oh.
He is an Army veteran. He's a proud member of the Subway Rewards program. And I always almost mess up that introduction, and he always tells me I give him the best introduction he has ever had. So let's give it up for David G. Scott, Clean Comedy. Woo!
Thank you, Linda. Your introductions are wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, I am David G. Scott. I did not name my son David. I wished I'd named him Harley, so he could introduce himself as Harley, David's son. The other day he said to me, Dad, I'm proud of you. You've started to listen to rap music. And I said, no. What I said was, the last time I fell, I heard my hip hop. Here's a news flash. I'm old. My son asked me what I'm going to do with, when I die with my money. And I said, well, my long-term goal is to have my life and my 401k run out at the same time.
Oh,
So there shouldn't be a lot, but I've decided I want him to inherit my estate, such as it is. And ever since I've told him, he's been raising rabbits and bringing me their fur. And I don't know what to do with my heirs' hairs. My heirs' hairs. Anyway, I do spend a lot of time wondering about stuff. For example, exactly how quiet is a church mouse? Exactly how dead is a doornail? Exactly how happy is a clam at high tide? And would somebody please tell me what the knights in white sat in? I don't know. Now, what exactly is a cold-blooded killer? Someone who murders reptiles? I have questions, is what I'm saying. If I only had one word to describe myself, it would be not very good at following directions. The other day, I ate an entire can of Pringles. That was very disappointing. There were only 3 of them, and they were all tennis ball flavored.
Ah.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I don't know how many times I say things. Just a few more here, Linda. Found a spider in my sock drawer the other day. I was very upset because it belongs in the spider drawer.
Mhm.
Saw a spider in my kitchen, but instead of killing it, I started telling it about my fantasy football team, and it left quietly on its own.
Mhm.
Speaking of fantasy football, how can it be fantasy football if there are no unicorns? I am David G. Scott. You can follow me on my website, David G. Scott Clean Comedy. Thank you all. Thank you, Linda.
Oh, thank you, David G. Scott, Clean Comedy. That was awesome. I can hear your jokes over and over, and they make me laugh every time. And
Excellent.
watching these other people who haven't heard you laugh, oh my gosh, it makes it so fun. Thanks for everybody coming on that I haven't seen on here before. Oh my gosh. The next comedian you get the joy of getting to hear has been in comedy for a nice long time. She's a legend. She's been around. I don't have her intro in front of me, but you know what's important for me to get out of my mouth is that she has gone and done comedy around the world for the troops. And that's why she's here, because she loves our military and our veterans, and she's super funny. She's super funny. She's been booked everywhere. Look her up, follow her, help her career, but now pay attention to her, watch her. It's in the little details. She does so many things to make you laugh. You're going to really enjoy this. Charisse Savarin. Woo!
God, I feel so much pressure. You know, Nick, you know what I have here? Maple bacon coffee.
Yes. Yes. That's all you need in your life.
Okay, I was just thinking of you. Okay, so, okay, well, I just kind of, okay, you know what word I hate? Responsibility. I hate that word. It's a drag to even say. Responsibility. It's so different than the word play. And everything's got a context, you know, like terrorist is a terrible word, you know, but if you put the word incompetent in front of it, it's a great word. Okay. And, you know, okay, I was looking for a job. This really happened to me too. And I'm looking at the paper and it says, I thought it said we're firing, but it said we're hiring. And I thought, we're firing? Show them I can save them time. Look at how efficient I am. You're already firing me. Whatever. Okay. You know what I hate? I hate acronyms. You know what they are? They're like short forms. Don't you usually not even know what the F they're talking about? I don't know what they're talking about. You know, like even like way back when, LOL, I have never laughed out loud at anything that said LOL. Have you? You know, it should be MG, maybe a mild giggle. And you know, people don't realize this, but I still have a sex drive. I just have nowhere to go. You know, and you know, online, this guy said to me, you know, because I'm on this website and I really am. And my name is Sweet Jewy Blue Eyes. Sweet Jewy Blue Eyes. So, hi, beautiful. My name is John. A little about me. I'm a full German man. I mean, can you save that for later? You know what I mean? Okay. And I do look great for my age, if I may say so myself. And I just did because I gave myself permission. And I'm growing old gracefully now because I have no choice. Okay. And okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. You know, like, do you ever see those commercials where it says, you know, call your doctor before you decide on a new exercise program? You know, and so can you imagine calling your doctor? He's very busy these days. You know what I mean? Hi. Yes, I have to talk to him now. Now, I say now. I don't know. Should I do 10 sit-ups or 5? Can you imagine? And you know what I don't like? Like, the mystery has gone out of relationships. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even have love at first sight because they can look me up. There goes that. You know what I don't understand? Okay, like, I'm very lucky. I live on the second floor. Okay, because, you know, murderers, they don't want to walk up another flight of stairs. You know, I may be a murderer, but walking upwards, this is America. And I never understand, you know, like, when people compliment you, it's always low, but when they criticize you, it's always loud. It's like, nice today. You bitch. You see what I mean? Right. You know, there are things I would do differently if I was young still. Like, I get so frustrated, like $50,000. I'm looking at the ads for an egg donation. You know, it's frustrating because I'm attractive but eggless. Well, okay. And okay. You know, here's the thing. Even before this all started, I stopped living on the edge. It got so crowded. It's only an edge. I deserve so much better than an edge. You know where I'm spending my time now? On the verge. It's so relaxing. You can be on the verge of whatever you want without doing a thing. Don't you dare finish what you started. We won't let you in. Let's see. Okay. Oh, you know, and I was on this website and this guy writes me, says, you look stunning with a lovely, big, bold, and beautiful smile. I'm not smiling. He probably mass sells that to everybody, right? Pisses me off. But, you know, I can deal with it. You know, during this whole thing with, you know, COVID, remember that? And I used to love watching anything on the ID network, anything before I went to bed, because I love going to bed knowing I'm doing better than a dead person. You know, and I thought about it and I'm doing better than Frank Sinatra. Bowie. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Let's see. You know, my mother, well, let's talk about her. Her name was Elvira. You know, is that enough for you? And, you know, she said to me, and she really did, like, both of my parents passed away years and years ago. But before she passed away, I lived with her for a while, and she said, you know, your life would change for the better totally if you just lost 10 pounds. So I just lost 10 pounds and she dropped dead. And I'm thinking, if I would have lost 8 pounds, she'd still be alive and criticizing me. Damn. Damn. Okay. And let's see, do we have anything else that's new? I'm sure we do, but who cares? Okay. You know, well, you know, maybe I'll just, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. Let's just say this, you know what they say, age is just a number. Isn't that what they say? But you know what? Sometimes it's the wrong goddamn number. That's it for me.
All righty. And she did that with only 4 cuss words, you guys. Give it up for Cherise Savarin. Thank you, Cherise. You're so funny.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, the next comedian you get the joy of listening to. I heard him for the first time yesterday. Bert Berman. He's a military veteran. Bring him up right now. Bert.
Oops, you're on mute.
Okay.
You're muted.
Well, he's avoiding criticism.
Okay, is that better?
All right, there we
Yeah.
go.
But no, okay. Give it up for everyone that came before me. Done a great job so far. Come on. Give it up for Jane all the way through. There we go. One thing, I'm gonna disclose that this show is a lot easier than the last one I did in my underwear. Yeah, it's really like, I think it's the web part that made this easier. All right, the online component. I like to prove that I'm not in a dungeon. That's why you see a window behind me. You know, like don't need a Hannibal Lecter theme to this thing. Guys, I went out for Veterans Day, 11/11, and I ate 5 times, right? I just pigged out, you know, it was like the diabetes in a day buffet for me, you know? Drove all over town with that. Came home, put some leftovers in my fridge, and about 5 minutes later, I hear a chime. My fridge has a sound, like sounds like a forklift if you leave it in too long, right? If the door is open for more than 5 minutes, you'll hear it. And I think if I'd have kept eating, I would need a backup chime as well. That's, yeah. I don't want to damage anyone, you know, walking away from the fridge. Yeah, if I pick up a fork, I don't want to sound like a forklift afterwards. I got to use some restraint at some point, you know? My my PT shirt now, this is where I'm at. My PT shirt's just a bib. Yeah, it's just full of stains and all the pride's in the rear view mirror when I wear it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the weight, right? And the temptation gets me. I'm trying. I ended up getting a bunch of country fried steak, right? It was on sale, and it came with packets of gravy. And so I didn't use the gravy. I used like lemon and pepper, and, you know, trying to make it a little healthier. But then I was sitting around with 40 packs of gravy. That's a lot of temptation. I fired the bathtub up, you know. I made a giant literal gravy boat. Just don't look for the mushroom, all right? And I feel like that's how Elvis would have gone out if he had the chance, right? Like he just didn't have that thought. Elvis definitely would have gone gravy. He would have just jumped in there like Evel Knievel, and I wanted to, you know. It looked like a school science project gone bad, you know, like a failed volcano in there. Just lumpy paper mache. And it really, more than anything, it looked like an above ground pool for biscuits. That's a sad thing to look at. I ended up not jumping in, right? In that 20 minutes, I gained my restraint back. Because when I looked after I filled it up, it looked just like Hannibal Lecter's crock pot.
Oh.
All right. I got a groan. That's what I was going for. A clean groan. I'll take it. Man. I just saw Old Navy got rid of their plus size section. And that surprised me. You know, going there, it's just zeros and negatives. Skeletons and ghosts, right? Like it's a spooky place now. Great Halloween store. I don't know if you want to shop your wardrobe there, but good Halloween store with that theme. Oh boy. Oh man. In case you guys think I didn't know, I do know I'm wearing a tablecloth as a shirt. I'm aware of that. And I look like I raided one of those Pizza Huts that they closed down last year. You know, like, it's like a zombie movie, right? Like I'm repurposing these things. Now all I need is a candle and a flower in the middle of this thing. I get that, I'm in good shape, right? Yeah, I'm doing it for ambiance more than anything, right? I kind of look like I'm going undercover in Al Capone's restaurant. That's undercover at Capone's place. I blend right in. Yeah. You know, it's I read some books about success from time to time. I try to figure out what I'm not doing, you know. And I got some advice in the book, and it said dress for the meal that you want. Not the 7-Eleven hot dog that I'll probably get later on, right? Yeah, I'm dressing like somebody's gonna feed me. It's not true. I'll tell you, yeah, like, you know, military background, right? And childhood was a little rough for me. Like, I've got a spotty past and a checkered present. It's so hard to do that with a straight face. I'm sorry. Yeah. Be careful. This is a good shirt. You know, this is from the J.C. Penney's Dinner for Six collection. 6 top right here. That's about, yeah. That's like bring your medium-sized family. I got them taken care of here. You know, it's I'm being careful because I'm not laminated, no Scotch guard, right? Like that. So until I do that, this shirt's compromised. Where are we going to end here? Any place would be a good place to end, I think, right? You guys have been wonderful. My name is Bert Berman. Have a great day.
Yay.
Yay, Bert. You had some great new jokes in there since yesterday. Great job. Well, the last comedian we have taking a stab at being clean is gonna knock your socks off. Look how adorable he is. He's likable already and he hasn't even done a joke yet. You guys, oh my gosh, take your likability lessons from Alex and let's bring him on right now. Alex Fossella.
Hey! Hey, I didn't know I was going to give a TED talk on being cute, but I guess that's what this is now. I'll take the gig. I'm above it. All right, a little about me. I'm 35 years old, but I look way younger. It's weird to think that I'm approaching 40, but I don't look a day over 15-year-old who's seen too much. Yeah. And I know 35, it's not old. I'm not like, I'm not complaining like that. But I am starting to feel it a little bit. Like something nice happened a couple weeks ago and I did like a fist pump. I was like, yeah. And I hurt my shoulder doing that. And that's how you know you're starting to age, when you have to stretch before you feel joy. It's important to stretch before emotions. I thought I would look older if I grew a beard. And then the pandemic, I was like, I'll grow the beard. Why not? No one's going to judge me if it looks bad. And then I grew the beard and it just looked like I fell into a bowl of eyelashes. Not good. Not good.
Nice.
Yeah. There's things I thought I would figure out by the time I was 35, like how to sleep like a normal person. Can't do that. If I lose a night of sleep, I have this weird adrenaline reaction where I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm going to be so productive. I'm going to exercise and I'm going to write a bunch of jokes and I'm going to read 3 books and I'm going to write a screenplay. And then the next day I read the screenplay and I'm like, this is just Reservoir Dogs, but they're actually dogs. Oh. You ever get so tired you don't sleep for a couple days that you start to mildly hallucinate? That's fun. I didn't sleep for 2 days, and then on the 3rd day I forgot I had a job performance review. That's a really great meeting. Like, you know what separates me from other people who work here is that I'm covered in spiders. So which is not easy to maintain and get those spreadsheets done because there's so many spiders in the way, you know? It's a lot. When I was a teenager, I hung out with the goth kids until they stopped hanging out with me because I was bumming them out. Yeah. Do you know how much of a drag you have to be for a girl named Spider Dance to yell, I cannot handle this negativity? She's not going to text you back. Let me finish my poem about razor blades. Come on. I was raised Catholic. Anyone here else broken? There Raised Catholic. My father described us as a staunchly Catholic family. Staunchly Catholic. Nothing happens fun in your upbringing when anything is done staunchly. There's nothing. It's like, oh, my family and I, we are staunch ecstasy users. And that's right, every Sunday, of course. I used to be Catholic, and I'm not anymore. No judgment if you believe. I'm not a believer. Whatever, fine. And I was comparing notes with a friend of mine who left the church too. And she goes, "Where are you at?" And I said, "Well, I'm an atheist, but like I'm a nice guy about it." And "Where are you at?" And she goes, "Well, I don't believe in God, but I do believe in ghosts." And I was like, "So you believe in ghosts, but not the most famous ghost?" Seeing a disconnect here. Yeah. Sometimes I tell that joke when someone yells, "Casper!" And I have to go, listen, there's a difference between power and branding. There's a whole... I'll meet you at the first temple of Casper later.
Right.
No. That I've read the Bible cover to cover. If you haven't, don't worry. He comes back at the end. It's fine. I read the whole thing. And if you've never read the Bible cover to cover, the Old Testament is crazy. Everyone has 9 wives and psychic abilities. It's like the X-Men were at a swingers party. It's nuts. And once Jesus shows up, from then on, it's all about monogamy and chastity and boring stuff. And I just wonder, are the old prophets in heaven on a cloud going, man, God was so much cooler before he had that kid? We used to party with floods and stuff. It was so punk rock. Now he's like, look, my baby's walking on water. Oh, snooze. Snooze. My dad is a very conservative Republican who also loves indie rock. It's the weirdest combination. You know, like Arcade Fire and Death Cab for Cutie. My father will blast Rage Against the Machine and then send money to the machine. My dad's very concerned about Antifa, which, if you don't know, it means anti-fascism. If you don't like fascism, you're an Antifa. That's all that means. And my dad is like, no, they're a terrorist group. Like I said, they're a terrorist group. I'm like, no, Dad, it's not that. It just means you don't like fascism. Antifa, it's not a terrorist group like ISIS. It's a feeling like jazz. Just accept it into your heart and we're good. Playing your notes, but your instrument might be a Molotov cocktail. I don't know. How do you want to play this? I'm learning to speak Elvish from Lord of the Rings.
Sweet.
Is my answer to Alex, do you have a girlfriend? Someone's like, are you seeing anybody? I'm like, well, I'm learning a fictional language, so I don't know about that. Yeah. I miss having a girlfriend. I was dating somebody a couple years ago. Didn't work out, but we're still cool. I miss having a girl. I get mad at dudes when they don't appreciate their girlfriends. Like, I hate when dudes are like, oh, my girlfriend is crazy. She's crazy. Because usually what that means is I did something horrible and my girlfriend told me. Oh. Can't even be rude to the person that loves me anymore? What is this? What is this? I do have a fear of getting into a bad relationship, though. Like, I don't want to be in one of those relationships where you know you should get out, but you can't get out. Like, the scariest movies to me are not horror films. They are like crumbling marriage movies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Marriage Story and Blue Valentine, all those. The scariest thing I can hear in a film is not, look out! It's, that's not what I said. I'm scared of horror movies too, though, which makes me think I want to join those two genres. I want a couple to be like, we're going to have a talk about what you said at dinner as soon as we outrun these werewolves. Yeah. Last date I went on was a couple years ago before the air became poison. And here's how it went. I showed up at a coffee shop, meeting a woman at a coffee shop, and I show up. She's typing on a laptop. And I go, hey, let's let me get you a drink and I'll come back. She goes, well, you can get me a drink if you want, but like, I've got to sit here and look for jobs. And I was like, on our date? And she goes, well, do you want me to be unemployed? And I went, no, sir, I'll get you that drink now. And got her a coffee for 2 hours. I kept trying to start this date we were supposedly on while she kept looking for jobs and ignoring me. And that was the moment I learned you can, in fact, be ghosted in person.
Ah,
We find a way. Nature finds a way, as they say in Jurassic Park. It's I've never been great at dating. I didn't go to my prom when I was a kid, and I always kind of held like a sadness about that. Like, oh, I wish I had, asked somebody had gone to the prom. I was always sad about that. And then that recently changed because a friend of mine directed like a indie music video, and he goes, "It's set at a high school prom. You've stopped aging. Want to be a kid at the prom?" And I was like, sure. And so I go at this prom, and I'm wearing a suit, and it's like dark, and the music's too loud, and it's not music I like, and I don't know anybody, so I don't want to talk or I don't want to dance. And I was like, I'm having no fun at this fake prom. Oh my God, I wouldn't have had fun at the real prom. And I felt this wave of healing closure just wash over me. I felt so much better. My wounds had been healed. And everyone on that film set is so tired and bored. No one realizes that I've just had this beautiful moment. So the director's like, all right, next shot, do we get what we need? And I'm like, I did. I got everything. Oh, I'll leave you with this. I'm one of the thing I miss most about having a girlfriend is you get to love someone and someone loves you back. It's like someone who's always in your corner, even sometimes beyond all reason. Like my last girlfriend, she wants to sing on Broadway. We go to get her some headshots. Good photographer. They make her up beautiful. She's already pretty. She looks amazing in all these pictures. And at the end, we take a picture together because it'll be cute. I did not know I was going to be filmed that day, so I had not shaved or bathed. I was wearing mismatched, really wrinkled clothing, and I was sick and like halfway out of a hangover. And we get those pictures back, and she goes, "Look how cute we are." And I go, "Honey, you look like a supermodel. I look like I eat cigarettes." Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Way to be a headliner, Alex Pasella. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
You guys give it up for yourselves. You're so awesomely funny, every one of you. Thank you so much for coming on. And like I said at the beginning, the whole purpose of doing these shows twice a week is so that they can be shared with military organizations and veteran-owned companies and anybody who's sad or needs a lift, like a military or a veteran or a first responder or anybody in the world nowadays, thanks to the pandemic. So share away, please share this video. And if you're at home and you got the treat of watching all these wonderful comedians today, thank you so much. Some of them may have actually put their Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPals over there. So feel free to, if you haven't done that yet, you guys, throw them over there. And if people liked your comedy like I did, they'll probably toss you some money. Hopefully people will follow your comedy career and help you rise up. You're all so funny, and I appreciate each and every one of you. You at home, I'm so thankful for you watching these videos. If you will please share so other people can laugh. Laughter is healing. And also don't forget my sponsor, the Veterans of Comedy. Leave no laugh behind. That's what we're about. Thank you guys so much. I'll turn off the live stream in case anybody wants